Today is Tuesday, February the 18th, 2020. I am Julie Hankinson, and this is The View Out My Window. I mentioned previously that I believe that we're going into a recession this year and that I am preparing. And preparing for me means spending less and paying off my debt and stockpiling funds, which can also mean stockpiling food. And I've been thinking about the foods that I grew up with, and I have been looking into purchasing them because that's how I was raised, in a frugal household. And so in my mind, I associate the foods that I used to eat as being frugal. However, I have recently experienced sticker shock. All of the foods that I grew up with are now extremely expensive to purchase because the ingredients are now niche ingredients. And when you're making red beans and rice, you don't just make red beans and rice with any old red beans. You have to have the special little red beans that come from the Louisiana area. And you need the sausage that is produced in that area. Because let's face it, if you're not sourcing ingredients from the area where a specialty dish is created, you're just not getting the authentic thing. So even biscuits, all right? I like my Southern biscuits. And Southern biscuits are flakier, they're much lighter than Northern biscuits. No offense, Northern people, but Southern biscuits got you beat. And the reason is that Southern biscuits are produced with a different kind of wheat flour. And you only find that flour, for the most part, in the White Lily flour. But to buy White Lily flour, you have to import it. And it's like, oh my gosh, by the time you're getting just, you want your Southern biscuits and you want your red beans and rice, or you don't want just black-eyed peas, you want purple hulls, and you want some good hardwood smoked bacon, and all these foods that I ate growing up that were just basic staples back then, now they don't fit into a budget when you're trying to reduce it, which probably means that you're eating healthier, but so anyway, it was just a bit of a sticker shock to realize that when I was going to make chicken and dumplings, I had some creep in my life, as in luxury creep. I no longer just buy any old chicken from the store. Now I get a free-range chicken. And free-range chickens are a lot more expensive than just going in and buying whatever is cage raised. And we don't realize how luxury creep is infiltrating our lives little by little. I have to have the still cut oats, but not just any still cut oats. They need to be the organic still cut oats, because I know that I don't want all the fertilizers and toxins, accumulating in my body. And same thing goes with the apple. I can't just have any apple. I have to have the organic apple or the organic apple juice. So if you think about as we become more affluent, the way that affluence does influence our shopping habits, and also while increasing our health and increasing our ability to make healthier choices, we are paying for it. So ultimately, it's this catch-22. Yes, you can eat cheaper, less expensive food options, but they are not the healthiest choices nowadays because they are, if you will, mass-produced. And that means to be mass-produced, they have more fertilizers and more additives, more pesticides applied to them. And that means that they can be ultimately more carcinogenic. So if we want to eat healthier, we have to spend more money. And that means even the less expensive food options out there are costing us more. And same thing with our health insurance. If we want better options, we have to pay more for health insurance. Again, I hark back to the fact that I spent several $1,000s to go to a boutique health clinic. And I received a much more detailed analysis of my health, which I believe will help me to make better and wiser decisions about my health moving forward than when I was just using my standard health insurance annual checkup. You know, you have to go to your certain HMO or your, whatever. You have to attend this doctor on the list, and he's only allowed to take these blood tests, and nothing outside that little list, or it's going to cost you a whole lot more. So if we look at it, and I am examining it today, that there is a division, there is a widening gap as far as our health. And if we don't have the money to buy the best foods or the best health care, it actually impacts our longevity. And there was a recent article in a New York paper that actually looked at factors regarding wealth, and not just longevity, but the quality of life. And it did break it down into wealth categories. And the fact is, the more money you make, the longer and the higher quality of life you do live. Despite the fact you may have a more high-stress job in order to provide that wealth, the fact is you are compensating in other ways, whether it be the healthier foods that do not contain all the carcinogenic pesticides and herbicides, the fact that you're eating a healthier diet, the fact that you have more food options, even your healthcare options, and how often you go in for a physical. Just again, until we even out some of these inconsistencies, we are not going to be able to consistently move forward as far as all of us enjoying a higher quality of life and a longer life. Now, I do realize that many people, it's their lifestyle choices. If they decide that they want to drink, or if they decide that they want to smoke or vape, or if they want to utilize drugs, these are their life choices. But there are basic life choices that need to be available to all of us, and that does include the opportunity to enjoy high quality food that is not going to put you in the grave. So I think that we all realize this on some level. And again, I was thinking about we don't always make our best choices. Looking at me and the fact that I'd much rather down a pint of Haagen-Dazs than live on a healthy diet. So again, for every finger that's pointing out, there's, 3 pointing back. So we do need to think about our lifestyle choices and the opportunities that are available to us, and also the potential for making changes in our lives, conscious changes, the recalibration that will actually up-level and make a real difference in our life. For me, that recalibration means making healthier food choices. Now, are there healthier options that you can make in your life? Can you also make healthier food choices? Maybe that's not available to you. Maybe you have the opportunity to exercise more or to increase your education. I know that there are many courses online that are free. And even I have an old iPhone 6 that I use because, some phones are really nice, but they are getting a bit more expensive. Mine is 5 years old, so I probably will break down and get a new one this year, since we're going 5G. But again, that is a lifestyle choice. We all have access to the internet. Most people who are listening to this do. We have options that are free. We don't have to pay exorbitant funds for them. So we have the knowledge that is before us to make better and wiser choices. So I'm asking you today, what is your better and your wiser choice that you will make to upgrade your life and your health and your happiness today, for this week or for this month? What will be that big decision that will have a major lifelong impact on your life? Y'all take care, and I hope you have a good night. And I hope y'all are staying safe.